Are car meets in GTA 5 dying? What happened to the golden era of car meets? It was a time when players would flock together, their virtual engines humming in harmony, their headlights cutting through the digital darkness. Back then, car meets were more than just a gathering, they were a spectacle. The pulsating energy, the camaraderie, the thrill of showing off your souped-up ride. The variety of cars was staggering. From the sleek lines of the Ocelot Pariah to the intimidating bulk of the Insurgent pickup, every car was a testament to a player's personality, each one unique. The sense of community was palpable. Rivalries were set aside, and friendships were forged over shared love for these virtual machines. It was a time when the game felt alive, vibrant, and inclusive. But as the years rolled on, the car meets began to lose their shine. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, why are these once-beloved car meets seeing a decline? The reasons are manifold and intertwined, mirroring the complex nature of the gaming world itself. Firstly, there have been significant changes in the game dynamics. With the introduction of new shiny features that are more adrenaline-inducing, players' attention was lured away from the quaint charm of car meets. The thrill of a high-speed chase or the lure of a heist has proved more captivating for many, leaving car meets somewhat in the dust. Secondly, there's been a noticeable shift in player preferences. As the player base expanded and diversified, so too did their interests. Many newer players are more intrigued by the high-octane action of missions and heists, leaving less room for the appreciation of the more laid-back, community-oriented aspect of car meets. And speaking of community, it's worth noting how its role has transformed over time. In the golden era of car meets, they were as much about the camaraderie and shared passion as they were about the cars. But as the community grew, that sense of unity seems to have faded, replaced by a more competitive, every-man-for-himself mindset. The decline of car meets in GTA 5 is a complex issue, with many factors contributing to its current state. The changing nature of the game, shifts in player preferences, and a fading community spirit all play their parts in this decline. But is this the end of the road for car meets, or is there a chance for a comeback? Let's explore that in the next segment. So, where do car meets stand in the current GTA 5 landscape? Well, it's a mixed bag. Car meets have indeed taken a back seat in the grand scheme of the game's activities. They're not as prevalent as they once were, and they certainly don't hold the same allure for the majority of players. But that's not to say they've disappeared entirely. In fact, there's been an evolution of sorts. The car meets of today are less about the sheer number of participants and more about the quality of the interaction. It's become a niche activity for those who genuinely appreciate the art of customizing their in-game vehicles and showing them off to like-minded players. Participation has become more selective, and in some ways, this has led to a richer experience. It's less about joining in because it's the popular thing to do and more about taking part because you have a true passion for it. It's about sharing that passion with a community that understands and appreciates it. The community, though smaller, is still vibrant. Players are putting in the effort to keep car meets alive, organizing events, and creating unique experiences. They're fostering an environment where car enthusiasts can gather, converse, and share their love for all things automotive. Despite the decline, there are players who still find joy in car meets, keeping the tradition alive. As we look ahead, what's the future of car meets in GTA 5? There's no denying that the game developers hold the key to rejuvenating interest in car meets. Perhaps they could introduce new car models or unique customization options to inspire players to showcase their rides. They could even incorporate special events or challenges tied to car meets, creating a sense of excitement and competition. But the future of car meets isn't solely in the hands of the developers. The player community also has an influential role. By organizing their own meets and promoting them on social media, players can spark renewed interest. They could also lobby for changes or additions they'd like to see in the game, demonstrating to the developers that there's still a passionate community behind car meets. The future of car meets in GTA 5 is a shared responsibility. It's a dance between the developers and the players. And who knows, with a bit of luck and a lot of drive, we might just see a revival of this beloved gaming tradition. Only time will tell if the glory days of car meets in GTA 5 can be revived, or if they will remain a nostalgic memory of the past.